it's Alice, and I'm here today to share the 12 most beautiful books that I've hauled this year. I was planning on making this a video of 10, but there are 2 sets, which I'm counting as like 1 book each, when it's actually 2. You will see why, because I can't separate them. I just want to showcase them, and I did this video last year and I had a lot of fun showing off my fancy editions, so I thought I'd do it again this year, and you could let me know if you've hauled any of these books or which one you think is the most beautiful, or if you think that there's any books that you've seen on my channel before that you're surprised I didn't mention today. So without further ado, let's jump in, and we'll start off with The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. This is a first edition hardcover of the 4th book in the Wayfarers series, and it's got these absolutely stunning end papers that are just so beautiful. I'm a massive sucker for Galaxy print anyway, so even just the outside of this book is so appealing to me, but those end papers, piece de resistance, and I couldn't resist putting this on here. The next most beautiful book that I've hauled this year is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but underneath, because this is the indie exclusive edition, there's this gorgeous foiled cover instead, and I just think it is so gorgeous. If they'd gone with just this as like the simple design on the cover, I would have liked it a lot more, but it's brilliant to see that it's so unique underneath. I had ordered the Waterstones edition with the sprayed edges, but that didn't have the Under the Dust jacket, and I prefer this. And this is also signed and personalised because I bought it through the independent bookstore that M.A. Kuzniar works with quite regularly. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, especially because it is a very wintry book. It's a Nutcracker retelling, and it's definitely extremely gorgeous. The next book I'd like to show you today is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. This was my first Fairy Loot box. The first one that I did where they were competing in Book Box Battle, so the first one where I had become a regular subscriber rather than just getting a one-off box. And this has gorgeous purple sprayed edges at the top and the bottom. It has stenciled edges there with like the lock and the bars as they were in prison. But it's the Under the Dust jacket that really gets me because it's got these gorgeous foiled characters. And I had never seen this done before. Fairy Loot do this amazingly, and every single time it just blows my mind because there's so much detailing and so much work goes into the foiling under these dust jackets, so this is just next level for me. It's also got a stunning Under the Dust jacket artwork too, so this was all out with the customizations, and I could not resist featuring this. I was tempted to put the sequel on here too, but this one was the one that really drew my attention to this series, and it still takes my breath away every time. Another Fairy Loot book that I'd like to showcase today is 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. Again, with the purple, I'm just a sucker for purple, and this has the sprayed crimson cranes that are actually purple cranes, but the sprayed cranes on the pages, stenciled. This is signed, and it also has the Under the Dust jacket foiling of the character, which again, extremely stunning and definitely to my aesthetic. I love the very pale purple on that, and it's got some gorgeous characters on the Under the Dust jacket artwork as well. Another edition that Fairy Loot really did go all out on. I'm just going to carry on and show off the rest of my Fairy Loot ones now because I've realised there's another 3 Fairy Loot books in this pile. I was really impressed by Fairy Loot special editions this year apparently, but it is my first proper year as a subscriber. I've only gotten a couple of special edition sets and 1 monthly box before this year, so I think it's okay for me to be really excited by it. One of the most special ones that they've ever done is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. This has these gorgeous stenciled black and white flowers, and it has the black spray at the top and the bottom. I managed to get this one in the Fairy Trove restock, which I was amazed by because they were selling for like a few £100, and I was so tempted to get one for that price. But luckily I managed to get one for the actual price that they were selling it for, and I have the sequel on its way to me now. And this one also has the character foiling underneath, which I didn't know when I got it, which was an extra cool surprise, and it also has the Under the Dust jacket artwork too. I just love the way Fairy Loot go all out on most of their editions. They're always happy to put like that little bit extra in, and it really does make a difference. Such as when they did Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. A lot of people don't like this one because of this neon pink colour, but I think it's absolutely beautiful because neon pink with like spray and stencil, pink, love it. But then Under the Dust jacket, so you've got exclusive end papers showcasing the characters. You've got the Ballad of the Archer and the Fox foiling, which is like another book cover for the book, and you've still got that under the dust jacket artwork too. How can you resist this when it's got that many customizations and it's signed and it's like so unique? I can't remember another Fairy Loot book that they've done that's been pink. Not many books in general do pink. I love this. I love everything about this, and the fact that people still are saying that they didn't like it blows my mind. Like, what more can you ask for? And the last Fairy Loot book I'd like to showcase today is actually the one that I've acquired most recently, and this is Gilded by Marissa Meyer, which has gilded sprayed edges, and like gilded edges is not something that book boxes do regularly, but oh my gosh, it makes it feel so fancy schmancy. It genuinely feels like a Bible. Just like the creaking sound when they're opening. I love that. It's got gorgeous end papers, and it's also got this on the hardcover foiling all the way around. So they really went hard with the gold, which is nice because this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, or is Rumpelstiltskin inspired. And I like this simplistic design a lot more than I liked the original cover. So thank you, Fairy Loot, for all of the amazing work you've been doing this year. So we will now move on to another book box who have been doing some amazing special editions this year, and they are from Illumicrate. So this is the TJ Clune special edition set that they did, The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door. These have some of the most stunning sprayed edges I've ever seen, particularly the ones on Cerulean Sea, which just get me every single time how gorgeous those are. But they also have like alternative hardcover art on the hardcover underneath, which is really cool. So you can take off your dust jacket and have that instead. And the funny thing is, I prefer the sprayed edges on this one, but I prefer the under the dust jacket, like the hardcover artwork on this one, which is why I decided I had to feature both, because I was thinking, yeah, I can just put Cerulean Sea in because of those edges, but they both shine in their own ways, so they both deserved to be showcased in this video. These are my babies, so I haven't taken these ones out of the bags yet. I'll just quickly whip these out before I show you. The other set I would like to showcase for you today is one that Illumicrate did a few years ago that I missed out on at the time, and that is the Strange the Dreamer duology set with these gorgeous gold and silver sprayed edges. And I finally own them. I finally own Muse and Nightmares. I finally read Muse and Nightmares. It has been a good year for me. I got these for a not extortionate price. I'd seen them go for quite a few hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And they were on Buy It Now and they were a little too high for me, so I put in a bid, like an offer, and luckily the seller accepted. But it was about £250 less than I was happy to go up to. So I feel like I got a massive bargain on these, even if it's like the most I've spent on books ever. But they're so stunningly gorgeous, and these taught me to never pass up on an Illumicrate special edition set. Like, if you're tempted, but you're like, I'll just buy them on resale at some point in the future. No, don't do that, just buy them. But even though these are like the basic hardcovers and they don't have a lot of customizations apart from the sprayed edges, I'm still so happy to own these. And I still think that even though this is the standard cover design, it's still one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen, and it always will be. So these deserve a mention, even though they're not as fancy schmancy as some of the book box ones I've got this year. They're still my favourites though. I literally have these led on my shelf on top of bubble wrap so that they do not get damaged in the slightest. That's how serious I am about keeping these perfect. Like, I will never ever read them. I'm going to own them forever because I love them so much. But I can't get them back in now, which is inconvenient. How am I failing so badly at that? There we go. That is Strange. Back into its home safely. And there's Muse. Back in safely too. Almost. Last but certainly not least, the last book I'd like to show you for my most beautiful books of the year is one that I've actually got 3 copies of, so it was hard to choose which one of the many editions to feature, but I had to go with the Illumicrate edition of Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff, because look at those edges. You've got birds, you've got bats, you've got a forest, you've got a castle. It's just so cool. It's got black sprayed edges at the top and the bottom, it's got signed end papers, and it also has, I still have the author letter in there, so you couldn't see the signed end papers, but there are the end papers. And it has the house crest for the Voss house family? I don't know. On the hardcover as well. And Goldsboro had one of them, and the standard editions had one of them. So that was the only edition that had that house crest on it. I haven't read this yet. I'm likely never going to read it because I don't actually read the books that I'm really excited about. But this is definitely the most beautiful book I've hauled this year. And well done, Illumicrate, Crate, for going all out on this edition in particular. And that is a list of 12 of the most beautiful books that I have hauled this year. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, we would be super duper grateful. We still have another 10 days of Bookmas left, so you're going to be getting another video every single day from us for the next 10 days. So please pop back if you are interested, and thank you for your support. Bye! Trying to do this subtly. Ooh. Don't look, don't look. Don't get spoilers. You don't want spoilers, do you? No bookish people want spoilers. Well, apart from me.